Hi you guys, so it's time to start processing the greens for the freezer. I'm going to get a bunch of these kale leaves, and then in that bed over there you can see the things with the yellow flowers are mustard greens, and then I'll take a bunch of these beet tops that don't have damage all over them, and then I'll go get some Swiss chard, and then we'll get started on processing greens for the freezer so we can have them all winter long. Alright you guys, so this is my extremely technical outdoor setup for processing my greens. So I've collected kale, mustard, beet, and Swiss chard greens, and I have them soaking in cold water. So what I'm going to do is remove the stems of the hard leaves up here with a cutting board and perhaps a knife, and then I'm going to boil them for about 3 minutes on this outdoor turkey fryer, and then in here I'll have ice water, so I'll ice water and cool them. And then I'm going to try something really weird. Have you guys seen these laundry spinners? They're, after you wash your clothes, you put them in here and it's like a dryer. It spins everything so fast that it's supposed to leave things almost dry. Got it lined with a pillowcase, an all cotton pillowcase, because inside here there are pretty big holes for the water to go through, but cooked greens are pretty fragile, so I could just see in my mind's eye the greens going through the tub and into the wall of the chamber, and I can't figure out how to open this thing up. Plus it wouldn't take any more water out, so we're going to try that, and then after after it's dried mostly in here, because otherwise you have to squeeze it all out by hand. If you let it drain in a colander like this, the water really never gets out. So anyway, we'll try it, and if it doesn't work, I'll go back to the old colander and wringing method. And then I've got some cookie sheets here, so what I'll do is make little rounds of cooked parboiled greens, blanched greens, and then pop them in the freezer, and then 24 hours later, after they're all frozen, I'll put them in plastic bags for long-term storage. So it's quite a few steps, but it's not that hard to do once you've done it once or twice, especially if you have somebody with you that knows what they're doing. That said, we have construction going on around here. So you'll hear noises in the background and maybe some people walking around, but you know, that's part of living the life, is dealing with 2 or 3 things at once. So anyway, let's get started. So we're cooling it to stop it from cooking, and apparently there's an enzyme that can destroy the flavor of especially greens, but other veggies if you just freeze them directly. You can just freeze them directly, but if you parboil them or blanch them first, it's supposed to stop that enzyme from changing the color, texture, and taste. So that's what we do here. So now let's try the spinner and see if that's going to work. This should be interesting. Alright, so I've never tried this before, but we're just going to load up this pillowcase and then put it in the spinner and see if it works. It does. It would be interesting and save all sorts of time. By the way, all this greens that I'm putting in here were from one of the 5-gallon buckets. So they cook down to be pretty minimal. So you got to grow a lot of them to get any kind of return on investment. Gosh, I hope this works. Well, it looks like it's going in there pretty straight. Alright. Good enough for a try. Alright, so I'm going to put the top in. Alright, we're going to try this again. We had to relocate because the extension cord wasn't long enough, so let's set you up. You should be able to see any water. Comes out there. Give it a little reset, and it's spinning. It's got suction cups on it, and usually they adhere to the surface to keep it in one place, but it's not going very fast. I'm gonna get a piece of them. Oh, there it goes. See, that's how fast it's supposed to go. Yay! Just had to get past the bumpies. Working! So it doesn't want me pressing down on it. That's my fault because I didn't turn the timer on long enough. Only goes for like up to 5 minutes. But it looks like it just has to get past these bumpies. And then it will spin just fine. I don't know. Something has more than one use. Cool. We'll let it spin out and then we'll show you what it looks like inside. Alright, so we've stopped it now. Take the safety thing out and put it somewhere there. And then we'll take out the pillowcase. And, yep. Pretty dry. As dry as I could get from wringing it out. So it worked pretty good. But you'll be surprised at how little all that work enables you to harvest. So let's go to the table and put them together for freezing. Alright, so when we get back to here, you'll see it's not a huge amount. Maybe 3 side dishes worth. But you know, I know what's in it. I grew it. and processed it, so I know there's no salt, and it's just been parboiled for 3 minutes. So let's put them in little discs for freezing. So happy that worked though, that saved a ton of time. So we'll take a good handful like that, kind of make a little disc with it down on the parchment. Well, maybe it'll make more. I don't know, what do you think? Are these big enough?
Yeah.
I'm glad that worked.
Yeah, cool. And a cool thing.
Yeah, it is. Where'd we got it at Goodwill, right?
Yeah, for like
22 bucks or something.
Yeah.
All right.
You saw the Japanese, the H marks, and
Oh yeah.
Chinese food stores, the big ones.
That's also I think the same company that makes that washing machine that you
Yeah.
spin. All right, so let's pop these in the freezer and freeze them up. All right, here at the big freezer. Popping open the freezer, my messy freezer. Please excuse all my stuff. And now I'm going to just put that in here like this. 24 hours, we'll take it out and we'll put it in some Ziploc bags. And it'll keep for up to a year. Alright, you guys, so here's what the pucks look like when they're taken out of the freezer. So they're all individualized there. Perfect portion for 2 people, and then 1 gigantic one. So what I do is I take a Ziploc bag. I also have a vacuum sealer, but I'll write greens, July 20. It should be July 20. If I can write a 0, that would be great. And then I just take one of these pucks, put it in the bag. Get out as much air as possible. Some people put a straw down in there and suck the air out. I find that I can't close it fast enough to make that worth my time. So anyway, there it is. So then you just do the rest of these, and that's how you put up greens in the freezer.